Hi everyone and welcome back to Black Cats Pilates. I'm Sarah. Today's session is a gentle beginner-friendly Pilates flow. So we're going to be focusing on mobility, lengthening, and there's going to be a little bit of abdominal strength in there as well. So this is going to help you to feel a little bit lighter and more connected to your body. You're not going to need any equipment, just a mat. So whenever you're ready, let's begin. All right, so we're going to start standing for this one. If you just take yourself to one end of your mat, and you're going to stand with your feet about hip width apart, keeping the knees nice and soft. Your arms are loose and relaxed by your sides, palms facing in. Just place the shoulders back and down. Keep the chin level with the floor and the crown of the head facing the ceiling. And now you're going to really lengthen through your spine. Okay, so remember, you've got to imagine there's a piece of string pulling you up from the top of your head toward the ceiling, and this should be about neutral, okay, your neutral posture. Let's take some nice big deep cleansing breaths, okay, so you're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's do it together. Big deep breath. And again, nice big deep inhale. Now this time when you exhale, you're going to draw your navel toward your spine. Okay, so big deep breath. And exhale. Navel in. So you just engaged your core. You're going to hold that in place and keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to start to warm up. So next time you inhale, reach your arms gently up toward the sky and then relax them as you breathe out. So inhale. Exhale. And again, nice big reach up, big breath. And down. Let's make big circles now. You're going to reach up, around and back, forward, round and up again. Big circles, just gently warming up the shoulders. Okay, we're going to do one more in this direction and then go the other way. So forward circles this time, nice and slowly and in line with the breath. Just a couple more. Keep the navel drawn in, and then you're going to keep your arms raised by your ears, palms facing in. So imagine you're holding an invisible box, and then gently lift your chin and gaze up. Keep the navel drawn in, and you're going to go apple picking. Let's take our left arm and reach up toward the top of that imaginary tree, and then swap arms. So you're going to exhale as you reach up. Inhale as you pass through center, just gently stretching out the side of the body in toward the shoulders and the arms. Lovely, a bit of a side bend there. Last couple. And then we're going to relax here, arms down, give your shoulders a very gentle circle, bit of a roll, and get rid of any tension around the neck and shoulder region. Okay, now we're going to reach our arms back up once again. Keep the navel drawn in and just bend the knees. Okay, so you're coming down slightly into what I call a skiing position. So the knees are slightly bent. Make sure they're behind your toes when you look down. We're going to go for a little roll down. So a bit of flexion of the spine. So navel in, take a breath. And as you exhale, start to bring your hands down. As soon as you see them in front of you, nod your chin to your chest, around the spine. See if you can place your hands on the floor. When you're there, gently lift your tailbone so you're lengthening out the legs slightly and feeling a stretch down the back of them. Now bend your knees, draw the navel in and roll back up slowly, back to standing. And we're going to go again. Big deep breath. And exhale, start to bring your arms down. We're nodding the chin. See if you can get your palms down. So if you need to bend your knees a bit more there, of course you can, but just relax your shoulders and your neck. Let your top of your head face the floor. And then we're going to come back up again, drawing the navel in and rolling up through the spine to reach back up. Last time, and we're going to stay down. So nice big deep breath. Exhale, engage. Arms slowly down. We nod the chin, round the shoulders forward. That's it, good. Just hang loosely at the bottom. Now this time, you're just going to walk your hands forward and come down onto the knees. So you're in an all fours, neutral position, somewhere around the center of your mat. All right, so hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's lengthen the spine. So find neutral again and keep your head aligned with your spine as well. You're going to keep your elbows nice and soft and the navel drawn in. Okay, let's go for cat and cow. A bit more flexion of the spine and some extension as well. So we're going to take a breath in And then exhale, tuck the tailbone under, draw the navel up, press the floor away from you and nod your chin to your chest. And then inhale to lift the tailbone, let the ribs sink down and gaze up. So exhale to flex the spine as we go into our cat. And inhale to extend the spine as we arch into the cow. So you're going to lead with your tailbone, then ripple through the spine. This is called sequential control of the spine. All right, we're just going to go one more in each direction before we come back into a neutral position. Brilliant. And we're going to stay in all fours. And this time we're going to concentrate on kind of warming up the wrists, the shoulders and the hips. So you're going to keep your spine nice and straight. So a bit like a tabletop, but take your shoulders forward. So they're more or less above the fingertips. Okay, now you're going to circle to your left, rounding in, over to the right and forward again. And you're going to keep going in that same direction. So anti-clockwise. Just circling the shoulders around the hand span. That makes sense, okay? So you're going toward your fingertips and the outside of your hand. And then all the way around. We're going to change direction. So when it feels right, you can just pause. And you're going to be going clockwise. Lovely. Remember to breathe as well, okay? So when you do this, you're going to exhale to come forward. Inhale to come around and in. Just notice how you can feel that around the back of your arms, across the chest. Last one. And then we're going to come back to the start position. Tuck the tailbone under and sit back into a shell stretch. You can reach your arms forward here. If you want, you can shake your hands out if you're feeling a bit tight around the wrists and make grabbing movements. Let's keep the blood pumping because we're going to come back up into our all fours position once again. Okay, so back onto the hands and knees. Let's lengthen through the spine again, keeping your elbows soft and the head aligned. So you're looking directly at the floor below. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of rotation of the spine and have a bit of a stretch as well. So if you take your left arm out to the side and then breathe in, try and lift it up toward the sky. And then you're going to place your palm down on an out breath. You're going to do the same on the other side. So right arm out, breathe in and reach up. Exhale, palm down. And keep alternating sides. So we've got to try and keep the spine straight as we do this. Try not to flex. And then when you're doing it, you're going to feel a stretch around the outside of your body toward the back of the pelvis. And as I say, you're stretching out the chest and into the pectorals. Don't worry about how far you can reach up, by the way. Everybody is different. Let's just go with your range of movement. Brilliant. Last one. And then you're going to place your hands back down and we'll sink back into shell and reach those arms forward again. So shake out your hands if you like. Make those grabbing movements. You can also very gently interlace the fingers and sway the hands from side to side as well, just to keep the wrist joints nice and loosened up. All right, from here then we're going to come to a kneeling position, but then we're going to come up onto the knees, so upright. Let's keep the shoulders relaxed and back and down, arms by your sides. So you want your shoulders, hips and knees in alignment, okay? Let's keep the navel drawn in, chin level with the floor, and then you're going to turn your hands so your palms are facing backwards, facing behind you. Now, lower your tailbone. It's like you're going to go and sit on your heels, but not all the way. And you can feel that your thighs at the front have just activated, your quadriceps have just switched on. Let's keep the core engaged, okay, because what you're going to do is lean forward just slightly with your spine, so about 45 degrees. Try not to be too low, okay? You don't want to be parallel to the floor. We need to be about here. And we're keeping the shoulder blades flush with the back. Okay, just start to beat your arms behind you. So we've got a nice little rhythm. Pulse, pulse, pulse. You're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. You're breathing in for 5 counts and then out for 5 counts. Let's keep this going, and it's going to really work the back of your arms as well as, of course, your thighs. Keep it going. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now I'm going to be counting us down very shortly, but let's see if we can keep that going, keeping the arms close to the body and making sure you don't wobble your head and shoulders, okay? It's just your arms you're moving. But I'm going to count you down now. All right, let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and down. Give your shoulders a gentle roll. Breathe normally, breathe deeply. Get that oxygen flowing through the body. And then we're going to come down onto all fours again. So onto the hands and knees, but just shift forward on your mat slightly because we're going to take a leg backwards. Okay, so before we do, make sure your hands are beneath your shoulders and your elbows are soft. Shoulders are back and down. You're looking at the floor and we've got the navel drawn in. So we'll start by taking the right leg back. Okay, so just send it behind you, point the toes, you've got the top of your foot on the floor. You're going to keep your spine straight and the chest and pelvis square with the mat. So that means I don't want you to kind of rock over to your left-hand side. Just keep squared up. Okay, take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, lift your leg. Inhale, tap the toe down. Lift and lower. Exhale, inhale. Now, every time you raise your leg, try not to drop your tummy button, okay? So you're trying not to arch your back. You're going to keep your spine nice and straight like a tabletop. Okay, now let's add a little movement as well. So while you're doing this, just take your left arm out in front of you, palm facing down, find your balance. And then every time you raise the leg, see if you can bring your arm around by your hip. So you're sweeping it gently round and reaching forward as you tap your toes down. And breathe. Let's go 3 more if we can. Exhale. Inhale. Okay. And then on that last one, you can place your hand and knee back. Let's sink back into shell. Whew. Get your heart rate down slightly. Give the hips a bit of a sway from side to side. Whew. And then we're going to do it all again on the other side. So up into all fours again. Let's reset ourselves. So make sure you've got enough room behind you. Elbows soft, lengthen out the spine, and we're going to take our left leg back this time. Okay, so top of the foot on the floor. Remember, try not to lean over to the right. Keep your chest and pelvis facing forward. And this left arm should feel like it's doing more work than the right. Okay, so keep your elbow nice and soft. Take a deep breath and exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Keeping the leg in line with the hip. So really feeling that squeeze around the back of the leg toward the glutes. Remember, keep the navel drawn up, don't drop your tummy button. And then we're going to keep that going. Reach forward with the right arm, palm down. And then every time you raise your leg, you're sweeping your arm around to the side, toward the hip. Nice and smooth movement in line with your breathing, so that breath-led movement. Keep your arm parallel to the floor. Last 3, 2, and our last one, and down we come. Good. Sit back in shell. Reach those arms out in front. You can turn your palms up as well. Remember, make grabbing movements or shake out your wrists, wiggle your hips, breathe. Perfect. Okay, let's come back up and then just shuffle toward the front of your mat where you'll come into a seated position. All right, so we're going to be rolling down into supine so we can do some work with our abdominal muscles, but let's find a neutral spine first. So feet on the floor, knees and feet hip width apart. This is known as a crook position for your legs. And you're going to sit on your sit bones. So those are the bony parts underneath each of your glutes. If you just sort of wiggle from side to side, you should be able to locate those. So make sure you're sitting on those, and that will allow you to sit tall, relaxing the shoulders back and down, chin level with the floor. Okay, and then you're going to take your arms out in front of you, and now we're going to roll back. So let's breathe in through the nose first. As we exhale through the mouth, draw the navel in and jump off those sit bones. Now lower the ribs slowly as you lean back with your shoulders and come all the way down into a full body stretch. So you can just stretch through your arms and legs, wiggle your fingers and toes, and always get a calf stretch in, okay? So if you flex your ankles, you can feel a really good stretch down the back of your lower legs. All right, let's place the arms down, palms down, and then you can place your feet back on the floor. So legs back in crook, relax your shoulders and your hips. Now, next exercise, we're going to use our hands to help us secure our pelvis. So what we need to do is just gently lift your bottom, slide your hands underneath it and relax back down. So you want your hands to be nice and comfy or relatively comfortable. If they're too high up near the back of your pelvis, number one, that's incorrect. And number two, it's really uncomfy. So make sure you've got your hands nice and low down and you're resting on the back of them. Okay, now draw your navel in. So we've got our core engaged and you're going to bring the legs into tabletop. So this is knees above hips, shins level with the floor, and gently press your lower back toward the floor. That's called imprinting. You can feel how it's tightened up your abdominals. Now we're going to take the left leg, extend it away from us and lower it toward the floor. Okay, now bring the knee back. You're going to do the same with the right leg. So slowly away and down, and then bring the knee back. So we're going to exhale, inhale, shh, shh. Lovely. Okay, now notice how every time you extend the leg and lower it toward the floor, your pelvis is trying to tip forward. So that's why we keep the navel drawn in and the lower back pressed gently down so that we can really use the strength of our abdominal muscles to hold the pelvis in place. See if we can do a few more of these. We'll just change it slightly, okay? So you can flex your ankle as you lower the leg. So you're sending the heel down. That just gives you a very subtle stretch down the back of the legs. But here, we're really working those lower abs, getting into the front of the thighs and up toward the pelvis. So that's your hip flexors. Let's go for 4 more if we can. And 3, 2, last one. Fantastic. All right, now if you just carefully take your hands from underneath you and pop your feet down, give your hands a shake, big deep breaths, and then place your palms down. Okay, so we're going to keep the legs in crook. Make sure your shoulders and your chest are nice and relaxed. So you've got the back of your upper arms gently pressed toward the floor. We're going to go up into a shoulder bridge. Okay, so take a deep breath. And on your exhale, you're tucking your tailbone gently under, rolling up through the spine toward the shoulders. We're going to breathe in to roll down and tip the pelvis gently forward. So we're going to exhale, roll up, inhale down. That sequential control of the spine is back, where we unpeel vertebra by vertebra and we restack or relay the spine as we come down exactly the same way. Use your arms to help to steady you. And then we're going to come up and stay up in the bridge on the next one. Okay, really important not to flare the ribs here, okay? Try and keep them relaxed and keep the tailbone tucked under. You're just going to take your arms a little bit further away from you. Okay, now you're going to take your left knee, slowly let it drop out to the side. And then bring it back. Same on the right. Out and back in. And we're going to exhale, inhale. Now every time you come back, keep the tailbone tucked under so the back of your pelvis is square with the floor. And do make sure you're noticing how you're using your arms and your shoulders to help you balance. So that very subtle scapular strengthening and support. Fabulous. Really opening up the hip. So a little bit of mobility and flexibility. Last couple. And last one. And when you come back, you can roll back down. Give your knees a squeeze. Let's draw them towards you. And if you circle them around just a couple of times in each direction, it'll massage the lower back. And then we'll have a happy baby pose. Okay, so if you bring your knees in, you're going to then part them. You might need to lift your head and shoulders just so you can take hold of either the outside of your feet or your ankles. But try and relax your head. As you keep hold of your feet, you get a really lovely stretch around the inner thighs and just generally around the hips. Lovely little relaxing exercise. Perfect. Okay, now if you want to just place your feet down, you're going to take your arms overhead. Take a big breath. Exhale, engage your core. So draw the navel in and just gently imprint the lower back toward the floor. you're going to bring your legs into tabletop again, okay? So knees above hips, shins level with the floor, and we're going to do an assisted roll up to seated. Okay, so all this is you reach your arms up, you lift the back of the head, take hold of the back of the thighs and rock up to seated. Let's do it together. Breathe in and reach up, exhale, and up we come. Fantastic. And then if you just want to bring yourself into a kneeling position, and we'll do a few nice deep cleansing breaths as we come to the end of the session. So keep the shoulders back and down. Let's lengthen through the spine. Draw the navel in. Okay, breathe in and reach up. Exhale. And again, big deep breath. Exhale. And our last one. Fantastic. Just give the shoulders a gentle roll, and that brings us to the end of the session. Well done. So that was a lovely mix of stretching and strengthening. So if you enjoyed that session, feel free to check out some of my other beginner-friendly videos. You can also save this one and come back whenever you need a reset. So thank you for moving with me today, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye.